Kind of sunny today. It's warm, in fact, in here. I just shut the window though so it'd be quieter. Okay, so we have a little Spanish girl here. So what kind of, can you say any, are you Spanish or English?
Mostly English, but Thai said Spanish and part English.
Oh, you are? Now what kind of, can you say some words in English?
I can say lots of words in English.
Oh, you can? Can you say some words in Spanish?
Yeah.
Like what?
Gatito, no, cebolla.
What was that one?
Cebolla.
What's that?
Onion.
Onion? Oh, what else?
Hannah said, este es cebolla. Este es un cebolla.
Oh, no, pumpkin, onion. What else? Can you say any other words besides cat and onion?
Hola.
Wait, what was that?
Hola.
Hola, what's that mean?
Hi.
Oh.
Sí. And hasta
What?
luego.
Hasta luego, what's that mean?
See you till then, I think.
See you till then, okay. Put your legs down here.
Yeah,
Okay, what else can you say?
don't worry about it.
You know, what if somebody says, ¿Cómo te llamas? What do you say?
Anawana.
Huh?
Sometimes.
You say Anawana?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes. What's that mean? Anything?
Yeah, right. What else? What other kind of things do you like to say?
Anawana banana.
Do you know any stories that you can tell Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know it in English.
Oh, we'll tell it in English then.
I don't know the word in Spanish.
Oh. We'll tell
But
it.
I know one word that goes with it. Agua.
Agua?
Yeah.
What happened?
All the church got flowed with a river of water.
Is that right?
Yes, some agua, but they should have been saying shower the bathroom.
Right.
The church got flooded
Right.
about 4 inches, and so my dad said we should have said, "Shall we gather by the river? Shall we gather by the river? Shall we gather by the river?"
Yeah, right. We could have sang that, "Shall we gather at the river?" Or we could have sang some other songs, because that's what happened the other day on Friday, I guess it was. I was here. I was getting ready for a Spanish class, and the other missionary, he came by here and he said, "Hey, John, come here. The church is flooded." So we went over there, and a water pipe had broken, and there was about 2 or 3 inches of water through the whole thing. But they had just carpeted it recently, and so the carpet's also. And the problem is, it's a downstairs. It's in a basement kind of thing. It's a below ground level, and so it doesn't. It's kind of damp and humid down there anyhow. And then you put 3 or 4 inches of water and everything, and it just kind of makes a mess. So we bucketed it all out, and dumped it down the toilet, and then swept it and mopped it. And now they have heaters going and trying to dry it out. It was a big mess. Hi, Anna.
Yeah.
Capital M, capital E, capital SS.
Right.
But now when you go to church, you have to walk in little pans, and then you have to put your feet on the pans.
Right. Yeah, they had things there because the carpets still aren't dry, and I don't know. It'll take a while. Of course, it's been nice and warm here lately. Not warm by Creston, California standards, but pretty warm for here. And it must be about 80 or so today, and sunshine, and so that's good. Normally it rains here quite a bit. It usually rains at least once a week.
But now we're on the drought.
But we're on the drought. Well, it rained just Sunday. It rained. So the day is Tuesday, and so it rained. It rained Sunday, but it's sunny today. The other day we had a couple interesting incidents happen. Anna, we woke up and Anna had on her sheets, there was some little marks there, and so we go, "Anna, what are those little marks on your sheet?" And what'd you say? Huh?
She's too camera shy.
She does what? Oh, she's embarrassed. What else? What did it say, Anna? Where did you get the idea to write R43 scribble on your sheets? Huh? Who gave you that idea? Well, anyhow, that's it. Sure enough, every sheet said R43, scribble, scribble, right on.
Except for I thought they should be Anna 4-3, scribble, scribble.
Yeah, but it's an R43, scribble, scribble.
Then you got that idea.
What?
I heard it on a story. Your story.
What story? From Russell with the car? Yeah, I heard of that story too. Speaking of cars, the other day, the other fellow that was here when we first got here, that helped us a lot, where we were sending them mail to begin with, Dwayne Clapp, they went back to the United States for a couple months to visit, do some things they had to go do. So we took them down to the, and we by the way, we got a car. So we got the car, we drove down there, and it was one of my first days driving around. And so we drove and we got on the freeway. They call it here the autopista. So we got over on the freeway, and I said, well, I want to go across town and get some gas over at this other gas station, because I knew where there was one at. And here, it's not like the United States where you have gas stations all over. They're kind of hidden, and there's not very many of them. So I said, well, I knew where there's one, so we'll go over there. So I said, well, let's get on the autopista, and I know it goes right by there. So we get on the autopista, and Mary, right as we pull onto it, Mary goes, are you sure there's an off-ramp over there? Oh, sure, I know we get on over there, so there must be an off-ramp. So I get on the autopista, and sure enough, there's no off-ramp. So we have to go all the way to Oviedo, which is the next city over. It's about 30 kilometers, which is about 20 miles over to.
But that's a far way. But we have. But
So
there's some missionaries. But there's some missionaries named the Sanders, and they were real close to the gas station we went to.
Right.
So me and Mom and Mike ran over there to see if they're home, and they were home.
So anyhow, what we did, we went over to we had to go, that was an exciting ride over to Oviedo, 30 kilometers with, on empty. That's why we're getting gas, and so we're kind of nervous. It's the first time I've ever driven this car, just about the first time. We get over on the autopista, drive up there, finally we find a place, then we have a hard time finding a gas station. Finally we find a gas station, it's right by these friends of ours over there. So we go over there, I get the gas, get the car washed, and they all walk down to these friends' house, figure since we're over here, we might as well see them, you know. So we went over there, and just a second, and we went over there, and then they said, well, let's go up on this hill here, up above Oviedo. There's this mountain, you can drive up to the top of it, it's real pretty up there. It's called Naranca. So we go up to the top of this Naranca, and we look around, and it's kind of pretty. By then, it's getting late, but we started this whole thing at 3 in the afternoon. By this time, it's about 7, 8 o'clock. So then they said, well, come over to our house for dinner. I said, oh, no, it's getting too late. We're going to go on home. So then, on the way home, we go, well, it's 8 o'clock, though, and there's no, we need some food. So we go, well, let's go over to there's a big supermarket. There's at the one exit right near Oviedo where we got off, there's a big supermarket called Prica. So we go over, and so then we pull off. Right, but you know, we pull off and go to Prica, and we go into the store. It's kind of like a combination Williams Brothers, Kmart, all in. Yeah, that's what I'm just getting ready to now. So anyhow, then we get ready to get out of the car. We pull up, stop, and I told him, okay, let's go in there. So I turned the key off, but it was kind of. I turned it a little bit. Yeah, I guess it was a little too hard because it broke the key off in the lock. And I go, oh no, the key is broken in the lock. And then I go. So I said, well, maybe if I get it. I started looking at it. Oh man, and then the key, the part that was broken was right there, right near the front. I thought, well, maybe I can reach it. So I got this little wire, and I kind of tried to hook it, and I pushed it all the way down in there. And so I go, oh no. So finally, I go over there, and I had another key that I thought was just worked in the ignition too. So I got in, and I went over to a lock, or there's a key maker. It wasn't really a full-blown locksmith, but he made keys. So I got him to make an extra key for me. And then so then we went and I bought me a screwdriver and a crescent wrench, and they had and I wanted to get some socket wrenches, so I got me some socket wrenches. So I had a few wrenches and a couple screwdrivers. So I thought, well, I'll go out there and I'll be able to get it now. So I thought, I'll take the starter out and then turn it upside down and shake it out and get it out of there. So I messed around with it for a long time. Finally, I couldn't get it. I thought, well, maybe I can go in there. Maybe that guy is a locksmith and he can help me. So I went in and asked him. Of course, I can't really say all the right words, but I explained it enough that the key was stuck in the keyhole and was broken and everything.
He just got
And I showed him the broken key, and he got the idea. So anyhow, I went over. He said, well, he couldn't do anything, but there was this other guy down around the other side. So I went over to that place, and then he could get it out. So he comes over and he messes. Finally, he pulls the starter out, or the switch, you know. And he has this thing. He's hooking it. Finally, he messes with it for about half an hour. And finally, he gets it out. Then I go get another key made. Meanwhile, this guy puts the switch back in the car, and but I think then he couldn't remember which way the wires went that hooked up the switch, and so so finally, then he hooked them all up, but I guess when I was messing with it, I messed up the switch too, so they didn't seem like they were working right, so we messed around with those wires for a long time. Finally, he got it where if I turned the key on and touched a wire to it, I could get it to start and then take the wire off, and I could at least get home. So I went ahead, and then the guy said, well, how much? And he messed around there for a good 45 minutes. And he said, oh, no, nothing, don't worry about it. So I gave him 500 pesetas. Anyhow, that was just like $5. I just gave him $5. I said, well, thank you. And he said, so anyhow, we drove home. By the time we got home, it was about 10:30. We still had to eat dinner. And it was kind of a long day. It was one of those days where you go, oh.
By the way, speaking of the Sanders, why don't you tell her about my stamp collection?
Oh, meanwhile, when we were over there at those friend's house, the Sanders over there in Oviedo, they brought out, they collect stamps. So then they're showing them all to Michael. So then they said, why don't, oh, here, Michael, here, you take, and they gave Michael a stamp collection book and a big envelope full of stamps. So now Michael's a stamp collector. So I wrote somebody a letter and I said, yeah, somebody gave Michael a stamp collection book, so now I have a new hobby. Anyhow, so now we've been saving the stamps. And so if you see any, when you mail something to us, get different don't just get the 2 flags, get something a little different, and then that Michael appreciates that for his stamp collection. All the same price when you buy them at the post office.
Even if they're different, then I can at least put them if they aren't in my book on a blank page.
Right. So yeah, he has spots for them. Okay. Let's see what else we were going to say. Oh, in July I went over to Santander, which is a city about 150 miles from here, east of here, right on the coast, and they were given a crash course or a kind of an intensive Spanish course for a month. What? Oh, maybe. Anyhow, so I went over there, and what I do is go over there on the bus on weekdays, and then come back here on weekends. I did that for 4 weeks. And I was glad when that was over. I might do another one of those things.